Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Today, we are from Group 2 with the members Aprilia Rosanti, Yosi Maharani, Anisha Fatullah Yuni, and Fariski Putri Ayu would like to present about case study research design. Today, we are going to discuss about the definition of case study design, the types of case study design, the process or the procedure of conducting the data, and the last, the advantages and disadvantages of case study design.
Hello everyone. At this time, I want to explain about case study. Case study refers to the collection and presentation of detailed information about particular participant or small group, frequently including the accounts of subject themselves. Form of qualitative descriptive research, the case study looked intensely at an individual or small participant pool, drawing conclusion only about that participant or group and only in that specific context. Researchers do not focus on the discovery of a universal, generalizable truth, nor do they typically look for cause-effect relationship. Instead, emphasis is placed on exploration and description.
The next is type of case study. Types of qualitative case study are distinguished by the size of the bound case, such as whether the case involves one individual, several individuals, a group, an entire program, or an activity. Three variations exist in terms of intent: the single instrumental case study, the collective or multiple case study, and the intrinsic case study. The final types of case study design is an intrinsic case study in which the focus is on the case itself. For the example is evaluating a program or studying a student having difficult.
Hello everyone, this is the procedures for conducting a case study. Several procedures are available for conducting case studies. First, researchers determine if a case study approach is appropriate to the research problem. A case study is a good approach when the inquirer has clearly identifiable case with boundaries and seeks to provide an in-depth understanding of the case or comparison of several cases. Second, researchers need to identify their case or cases. This case may involve an individual, several individuals, a program, an event, or an activity. The case can be single or collective, multi-sided or within-site, focused on a case or on an issue in choosing which case to study. An array of possibilities for purposeful sampling is available. The data collection in case study research is typically extensive, drawing on multiple sources of information such as observations, interviews, documents, and audiovisual materials. For example, the 6 types of information to collect, such as documents, archival records, interviews, direct observations, participant observations, and the last is physical physical artifacts. The type of analysis of this data can be a holistic analysis of the entire case or an embedded analysis of a specific aspect of the case. In the final interpretive phase, the researcher reports the meaning of the case. The researcher reports the meaning of the case, whether that meaning comes from learning about the issues of the case or learning about the unusual situation. As Lincoln and Cooper mentioned, this phase constitutes the lessons learned from the case.
Okay, well, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Anisha Fatullah Yuni, and here I would like to continue the presentation. Especially here, I would like to explain to you about the advantages and also the disadvantages of case study design. Before we are going to discuss about it, it is really important for us to know the reason why we must learn about it. As researchers, we would like to conduct this type of study design. It is really important for us to know the advantages and also the disadvantages of our study design. Because why? As researchers, it is really important for us to minimize the risk or the challenge of our study design. So, when we can minimize this risk as well as possible, it means that we will not find too much problem in our study. So, because it is really important, let's discuss about it. Okay, here for the first I would like to discuss about the advantages of case study. The first is intensive study. Case study method is responsible for intensive study of a unit. It is the investigation and exploration of an event thoroughly and deeply. The second is no sampling. It studies a social unit in its entire perspective. It means there is no sampling in case study method. The third is continuous analysis. It is valuable in analyzing continuously the life of a social unit to dig out the facts. The fourth is hypothesis formulation. This method is useful for formulation of hypotheses for further study. The fifth is comparisons. It compares different types of facts about the study of a unity. The sixth is increase in knowledge. It gives the analytical power of a person to increase knowledge about the social phenomena. The seventh is comprehensive. It is a comprehensive method of data collection in social research. The next, locate deviant cases. The deviant cases are these units which behave against the proposed hypothesis, so it allocates these deviant cases. The tendency is to ignore them, but are important for scientific study. The last is farming questionnaire or schedule. Through the case study method, we can formulate and develop a questionnaire and schedule. Okay, for the next, we will discuss about the disadvantages of case study. So, case study method has the following disadvantages. For the first, limited representatives. Due to as narrow focuses, a case study has limited representatives and generalization is impossible. The second, no classification. Any classification is not possible due to studying a small unit. The third, possibility of errors. Case study method may have the errors of memory and judgment. The next, subjective method. It is a subjective method rather than objective. The next, no easy and simple. This method is very difficult and no layman can conduct this method. The next, bias can occur. Due to narrow study, this discrimination and bias can occur in the investigation of a social unit. The next, no fixed limits. So yeah, this method is depend on situation and have no fixed limits of investigation of the researchers. The next, costly and time consuming. So this method is more costly and time consuming as compared to other methods of data collections. Okay, well, ladies and gentlemen, those are the presentations from Group 2 about case study. If you have any question and if you have any opinion, we can discuss it in our group. Thank you so much for your attention. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.